Hi, this is David from Dark Ivy Consulting, and today I'm using Nmap to enumerate building automation control networks. Nmap is a command line utility. It's open source, and you can download it from nmap.org. It's a network mapping tool. It's commonly used by IT people or ethical hackers, and maybe not so commonly used by people who work in the controls industry. So if you're a field technician, maybe you should consider adding Nmap to your toolbox. Nmap is a tool that we would use to locate or understand IP-connected devices. It does things like ping sweeps to locate devices and port scans to identify what services might be running on those devices. But more than that, Nmap has a powerful scripting engine built into it, which means all sorts of additional components can be added to it, even components related to the building automation industry. Nmap is available for all the operating systems. I'm using it today on a build of Ubuntu. Okay, here's how I would use Nmap to discover devices. First, I would use the SV switch to detect service versions, and then SU to be a UDP port scan. That's necessary for these following ports, like the Modbus port and the BACnet port, are what's known as UDP. And then I would specify an address range to detect the devices upon. You can put a range of IP addresses into your Nmap. The command you see on the screen right here will scan an address range for building automation controllers. Scanning a range of controllers like this using UDP would take a while. I'm going to replace this range with an actual address. This is actually an internet address. I'm going across the internet to do this. And so I'm hiding the number to protect the innocent. What's happening right now is a UDP scan. It's not the fastest type of scan, but it's necessary for this type of protocol. And it's really important that I narrow down the scans to as few ports as possible. It would take over a day to scan all the possible port numbers at an IP address using UDP. We've got some results here. I can see that only 47808 is really open. The other two ports, it says open filtered there. What that really means is that in the case of UDP, no response was received. It was silence, radio silence. 47808 though, something did respond. So there's more investigation we can do now. Now that we've identified the target, I'm going to switch over to a script. This is a built-in script that's included with Nmap called BACnet info. And so I'm going to query the device and learn about it. This scan is running right now on a device across the internet from me. There it is. You see it's a train device, and it has firmware and application software, which we've now identified. If a person was doing a penetration test, they would then look into this information. They would look up the device and they would learn about the firmware and see if there's been any issues that have been fixed or more opportunity to exploit in this device. Now, whenever I'm doing testing like this, I see this so often, and it's such a big no-no that I wanted to share it. You'll see an example of it here. I had to blur it out. In the description field or sometimes the object name field or the device name is so often the address of the facility. And I think that practice just needs to stop, because what this does is it gives a location that you can target financially. So that I might be able to find a system, but I might not be able to find out who owns that system. And it's making it really easy if you put the address into the system itself. The address of the building should not be inside of the system so that it can be detected by an outsider. If you're one of the rare few that find this stuff interesting, then let me know in the comments, and let me know if I can show you anything else to do with Nmap and building automation.